Senator, South Carolina Heritage Foundation president, now a mover, shaker in his own right. Senator, I was mentioning, and it was not meant to be a pejorative or an attack on Donald Trump or, for that matter, on President Obama, but I think when you're a gifted politician, part of that gift is being very pragmatic, and in Donald Trump's case, wheeling and dealing to score a deal and to get what you want done. I'm just wondering with Donald Trump, what do you expect to see in those first 100 days? It will give us a clue to what he's prioritizing, because that meeting with Speaker Ryan will tip his hand, right?
First 100 days are obviously important. I think the very first thing he does will be important. Particularly, it'll probably be a Supreme Court appointment or nomination. We may see that before the inauguration. Neil, our hope is that the Republican Congress will pass a repeal of Obamacare early in January and put it on President Trump's desk the day he's inaugurated. And then there are other issues he's talked a lot about border control. This is something he could do in the first month because there's already a law on the books. It just needs to be funded to build that fence. So I think this president will follow through.
That would be the most important thing to do. Senator, I do want to pass along an update to you that Donald Trump has already left the White House. And that surprises me, sir, in this respect. We didn't get the famous killer shot. That is, you know, where the two men are shaking hands with their respective spouses outside the White House, whether it's the North Portico or the South Lawn, much as we've seen countless other times when we've had events like this, either with the Obamas with the Bushes, or for that matter, the Clintons with Bush Sr. and his wife, Barbara, after defeating them in 1992. What do you read into that, or am I just being a palace intrigue nut?
Well, let's just assume it's because he's late to a Paul Ryan meeting and needed to get out of there. I think it's important that they had the meeting. They were cordial to each other. It's a good signal to the country to begin to put all the hurt feelings behind us from this election and move on. So I think it was a good meeting, but hopefully President Trump didn't listen to Obama on any of the policies that he wants to continue.
All right. Do you think that, real quickly, that anything productive came of this powwow today?
I think so. There's a lot of organizational issues that I know Donald Trump is very interested in. We're involved with helping with the transition, selecting the staff for the next administration, and I know he wants to set it up so it works effectively, but he is very insistent on to have people around him that know we have to change things. So far there have been a lot of good signals from Mr. Trump that he wants to do things the way the voters wanted when they elected him a couple of nights ago.
But you know, Congressman or Senator, one of the things I wonder about is, we talk about this meeting with President Obama, and that's difficult enough. I mean, but I've always said, as Donald Trump was breaking through the Republican ranks here and decimated all the prominent candidates, to say nothing of what he's just done throughout the course of the campaign, going all the way to the presidency, is how, as we watch his motorcade ride at the Capitol Hill Club in Washington, for this meeting with Republicans, he's the one in the proverbial driver's seat, right? So, and yet many of those people with whom he'll be meeting, Speaker Ryan at first, and then later on with Mitch McConnell in the Senate, they're the ones who are leery of him, and now he's there to tell them, well, I'm the king, right?
Well, there are no more excuses for Paul Ryan or Mitch McConnell. They have the White House. Donald Trump won running on common sense conservative ideas, and now they have the ability to get these things done. There's no reason they cannot repeal Obamacare. They ran it through the House and the Senate last year. They can do it again, and they need to follow through. No more excuses, Neil.
Do you think the pressure then is more on them and not Donald Trump? In other words, after a raucous campaign where a lot of them, especially the leadership, I think it's fair to say, Senator, had a arm's length, if not total hands-off relationship with him. I'm thinking back to the revelation of that tape from 11 years ago. And a lot of them bolted. Speaker Ryan canceled the Wisconsin event he was supposed to be at with Mr. Trump the next day. Donald Trump obviously remembers that. He seems to be a pragmatic individual, just wants to get stuff done. But how much ill will do you suspect there still is, and how does a president-elect and later a President Trump handle that, or does he care?
President Trump will have a mandate from the people. It's very clear. So he is the one in the driver's seat, and there's really no excuse from Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell that he has a different philosophy. All the Republicans have campaigned on repealing Obamacare, controlling our borders, getting spending under control, balancing our budget. So now is the time for them to act. So I think we're going to see a lot of unity because the president now can come in and push them in a positive direction. So I'm expecting good things. I'm really optimistic that we're going to get some good changes, hopefully a lot of the regulations lifted from our economy, particularly in energy, so that we can begin to grow our economy again.
All right.
And a lot of this doesn't cost a lot of money. It's not going to take a lot of legislation. So Trump has a lot of control in his hands, Neil.
Senator, thank you very, very much. Senator Jim Demint, now